Hi, this is Scott Garibay, and today what we're going to do is we're going to talk about American politics in the Joe out, Kamala in era, which is really fascinating. Just where we've landed, and specifically we're going to talk today about Dick Cheney's endorsement of Kamala Harris. You can't write this stuff; it is so bizarre. So Dick Cheney was vice president for George W. Bush. The dynasty there is literally Reagan to George H. Bush to George W. Bush. And let's be honest, in my humble opinion, George W. Bush was a ridiculous nepotism candidate. He had no business being president. He didn't do anything of significance to earn it, right? And major, outrageous, controversy about his past, saying, hey, this guy, I don't know if this guy should be the manager of a fast food restaurant, let alone American president. And it was and nepotism is extremely real in America. And George H. Bush kind of just handing the president to his son years later was pretty galling, right? And here's the kicker, right? This is what we're talking about today. Why did Dick Cheney say, I'm endorsing Kamala Harris? Dick Cheney is as Republican as you can get, right? That dude's so conservative. Emperor Palpatine would be like, whoa, man, slow it down. That's a little much there, right? He's ridiculously conservative, right? And so why did he do it? Well, I agree with Russell Brand. So Russell Brand, again, where are you going to get your truth? I think, in my humble opinion, there's a lot of truth coming from Russell Brand. Who the heck is Russell Brand? Ex-Hollywood comedian, ex-Hollywood star, right? Now turned yoga guru who's so conservative, most of his content's on Rumble. You couldn't make, if you wrote this stuff as a movie pitch, people would be like, this is not even believable, right? A yoga guru who's so conservative, the majority of his content has to live on Rumble. You can't write this stuff. It's loopy to doopy. Just apples, bananas, strange, right? Okay, Russell Brand nailed it, in my opinion. So what did he say? He said the reason that Dick Cheney hates Donald Trump is he's not controlled. Ding, 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 ding. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. That is dead on correct. Dead on correct. All right, let's get it. All right. Who's running this country? Look right now. Where's Joe Biden? Right? Putting on MAGA hats and doddering around and stumbling and not speaking complete sentences. It's clear to everyone that our country is not being run by the person we elected. So who is it being run? Well, the rumors would say, oh, those guys, they wear nice rings and it has an angle on it and they're named after people who work with stone. Those guys, right? And the other people are, no, it's a bunch of eclectic billionaires. And they're like, well, what do you think the angle guys with the rings and the stones are? So a lot of people are just like, it's a bunch of rich rich white billionaires, right? And that's the secret cabal who runs the Star Chamber, right? Now, my take is it's an alien, a demon, or an AI, right? I really don't, and what's interesting is, this is what Dick Cheney's saying. Hey, the demon who runs this country was getting everything we needed done, but now it's been interrupted by this guy who's clearly tweeting on the toilet, right? And you look at Trump and you're like, it's clear. No conspiracy theory, no conspiracy theory Star Chamber picked this dude. He's completely out of control. He's only controlled by himself. Right? He's controlled by spite. He's controlled by hubris. He's controlled by vanity, right? But it is very clear, ain't no Star Chamber controlling Donald Trump. And that's why, and I completely agree with Russell Brand. I can't tell you if it's the guy with the guys with the rings with the angle on it and work with stone, or an alien, a demon, or an AI, but I can tell you right now, if you think for one, it is very clear that our world is being run by America is being run by a dark cabal that loses control every now and then. And that's the incredible thing about Trump, is people are like, Trump is terrible. And you're like, it's kind of a nice break from the dark cabal that usually runs things, right? And so That's where we land. And I think Russell Brand, yoga guru whose content is so conservative it has to live on Rumble. That's where we're at, man. You couldn't write, if you wrote this stuff as a movie pitch, people would be like, that's ridiculous. Unbelievable, in my humble opinion. Every single word you just heard is my humble opinion. The important part is when I get to hear your humble opinion, when you get in the comments and send your traffic. Please consider liking, subscribing, and have a fetch millennium.